Bubba Wallace, known as one of NASCAR's most prominent and trailblazing drivers, recently opened up in a rare and heartwarming interview about one of the most personal chapters of his life, fatherhood. In an exclusive conversation with *E! News*, Wallace shared touching insights about his journey with his 10-month-old son, Bex Hayden Wallace, whom he shares with his wife Amanda Wallace. Far from the high speeds and roaring engines of the racetrack, Wallace spoke with a level of tenderness and honesty that revealed just how transformative this new role has been for him. Despite being in the spotlight for years as a professional athlete and advocate for social change, Wallace has kept his private life relatively quiet, making this intimate look into his family all the more meaningful. Referring to Bex as a grown little man, Wallace couldn't help but smile as he described the toddler's budding personality. He shared that Bex is incredibly chill, echoing both his own laid-back demeanor and Amanda's calm presence. It's clear that Bex has inherited more than just his father's name. He also seems to share Bubba's composed energy. Wallace remarked that it takes quite a bit to rile his son up, and in that way, the two are remarkably similar. For Wallace, who spends much of his life in a high-adrenaline environment where precision, timing, and temperament are everything, having a child who balances that out with peace and calm seems like a gift. And it's one that Wallace doesn't take for granted. As he spoke about Bex, Wallace's pride was unmistakable. From his first few sleepless nights as a new dad to the simple joys of watching Bex explore the world with curiosity, Wallace made it clear that fatherhood has shifted his entire perspective on life. He noted that every day with his son brings something new, whether it's Bex trying a new food, reaching a developmental milestone, or simply flashing one of his now frequent gummy smiles. Bubba laughed as he mentioned how Bex, like most babies nearing their first birthday, is in that curious phase where he wants to eat everything, and it's become part of their daily adventure. But what resonated most deeply in Wallace's comments was his reflection on how being a father has impacted his emotional resilience. Known for his competitive spirit on the track and outspoken nature off of it, Wallace has often been a lightning rod for attention, both praise and criticism. But since Bex came into the picture, Wallace has found a new center of gravity. He said that tough days don't feel quite so tough anymore, because no matter what happens on the track, he knows he gets to go home to his son. This grounding influence has allowed him to find peace even when races don't go as planned or public pressures begin to mount. He admitted, "Having a kid has really opened my eyes to just enjoying the moment." Beyond his personal life, Wallace is also using his platform as a father to support causes close to his heart. He recently partnered with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America and children's clothing brand Carter's on a special initiative that celebrates parenthood and gives back to underserved communities. The collaboration features a limited-edition t-shirt collection, and proceeds from the sales are directed toward supporting youth programs that Wallace believes in deeply. As a former Boys and Girls Club kid himself, Wallace sees this initiative as a full-circle moment, something that allows him to not only celebrate his journey as a dad but also to give other children the kind of support he once received. His commitment to this project feels all the more authentic when you realize it's inspired not only by his past but also by the future he wants to help create for Bex. He emphasized the importance of children having a voice, no matter their background, and spoke about how empowering young people through organizations like the Boys and Girls Clubs can truly change lives. Now, as both a public figure and a father, he feels a greater responsibility to lead by example, showing that vulnerability, compassion, and action can coexist with competitiveness and ambition. While Wallace continues to make strides professionally, including landmark victories and consistent performances on the NASCAR circuit, it's the personal milestones that seem to leave the biggest impression on him these days. From his earliest moments in the delivery room to recent days filled with crawling and teething, Wallace is fully immersed in the experience of raising Bex. And it's not just about being present, he wants to be intentional. He frequently describes his goal as wanting to be a great father, a great husband, a great family man. Those words reflect a man who is not just reacting to fatherhood but embracing it fully. Amanda Wallace, his wife and longtime partner, has also played a pivotal role in this new chapter. The couple, who have been together for years before tying the knot in 2022, have often supported each other through both public and private challenges. Amanda, a former financial analyst turned artist, has stood by Wallace through everything, from his historic on-track moments to his advocacy off it. Now they're navigating the equally intense world of parenting together, and Wallace is quick to credit Amanda for her strength and grace. In the same interview, he joked that motherhood is definitely harder, adding that he has a newfound appreciation for all moms, calling Amanda a rock star for everything she does, day in and day out. Though their lives have inevitably become more hectic with a baby in tow, Wallace doesn't seem to mind the shift in pace. In fact, he welcomes it. These days, small moments mean everything. Holding Bex after a long race, hearing his giggles in the morning, or watching him nap peacefully in the afternoon, all of these have become new trophies in Wallace's life, equally important as any checkered flag. He admitted that being a father has brought him peace in ways he didn't expect. Even when he's in the thick of a competitive season, he can come home, unplug, and reconnect with what truly matters. And while Bubba Wallace is still fully committed to his racing career, eyes on championships, focused during every qualifying lap, he's the first to say that racing is no longer the only thing that defines him. Being a father has expanded his identity. It's given him a new mission, a new reason to push forward, and a new kind of pride that surpasses even the roar of a NASCAR crowd. He's already imagining what it will be like as Bex grows older, maybe watching races, maybe not, but certainly watching his dad try to be the best man he can be. In the end, Wallace's reflections on fatherhood don't just show us a different side of him, they reveal a fuller, more complex person beneath the racing suit. He's a father who is learning and growing every day, humbled by the experience and enriched by the love of his son and wife. Through candid interviews like this, fans get to see the humanity behind the helmet, and what they see is someone who is not only racing toward greatness on the track but also building something even more meaningful at home.